Man, a fucking podcaster's nightmare, man. I don't believe this shit, you know? I'm sitting here fucking recording, and I get through 30 minutes of my show, and it doesn't even dawn on me that I don't see the volume bar on my OBS, going on. And I'm just spitting fucking words and talking about Survivor Series and talking about this and that and showing you guys new t-shirts and fucking all this other shit. And then I go back and watch the 30 minutes to edit it and then go on to the actual portion of the review, or the preview rather, and nothing is there. Nothing is there. I just sat here for 30 minutes to record nothing. Some fucking Saturday, man. Jesus Christ. If you're a podcaster, man, and you have that happen to you, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Anyway, man, this weekend is big. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you, man. I'm sitting here and I don't get ruffled. I don't get shaken when I record. I don't find any recording too difficult to handle. This recording, I'm finding very difficult to handle, man. There's just so much I want to talk about here. I may eclipse 2 hours. I'm going to try and keep it to a minimum like I usually do, 1:10. But Survivor Series is big, man. This weekend, this Saturday, this Sunday is going to be a big deal for WWE. When you watch WWE as a child, a lot of what you guys watch hinders on the SummerSlams, the WrestleManias, the Rumbles. A lot of my memories come from Survivor Series, believe it or not. Survivor Series is a very, very iconic pay-per-view for WWE. It really saddened me when there was rumors going around that Vince McMahon wanted to cancel the entire Survivor Series pay-per-view because it wasn't selling well. Maybe because Vince McMahon was booking it wrong. He was going about Survivor Series creatively that was just not interesting anymore. He thought the concept of surviving and the 4-on-4, the 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches really wasn't a good selling point anymore. And I got to be honest with him. A whole pay-per-view of that? It's a little too much, man. It's a little too much. But you go back into the annals of WWE history and you think about Survivor Series and how important it was, you're going to uncover a lot of memories, man. 1990. I mean, what do we associate 1990 with when it comes to Survivor Series? I mean, it's The Undertaker and his debut, brought out by Ted DiBiase and Brother Love. Standing there, daunting, scary. As a child, you looked at The Undertaker and he was downright scary. Coming out to the funeral march and wearing all black. Guy's impervious to pain. He looks like death himself. He looks like the fucking Grim Reaper. Little did we know that he would probably become one of the most beloved, if not one of the biggest name in all of WWE. Vince McMahon's biggest creation. Fast forward a year, Survivor Series was built on that team aspect. WWE went outside the box for Survivor Series 1991, delivered the gravest challenge. The Undertaker challenging for the WWF Championship against Hulk Hogan. Still to this day, I'm shocked that Hogan lost the WWF title to The Undertaker. 1 year after his debut. It's pretty big stuff, man. Pretty big stuff. Took 3 men to beat Hulk Hogan, which was the norm back in the day. Sickening, I know. But The Undertaker winning the WWF title had a trickle-down effect to what ultimately affected the entire 1992 Royal Rumble. The Undertaker walking out with the WWF title at the 91 Survivor Series, walking away from ringside, dragging the title as if it means nothing to him, dragging it like a dead corpse. Those are memories that don't go away, man. Those are memories that don't go away. The very first singles match at Survivor Series, believe it or not. Believe it or not. Fast forward to 1992. Undertaker again back at it. This time in a more mid-card role. Challenging Carmella in a casket match or a coffin match. Nailed the casket shut. Carmella was dead. His WWE career was dead, not him, goons. Shawn Michaels versus Bret the Hitman Hart in the main event in a great match. Great match. Very old school match. Before their rivalry was built on absolute hatred for one another, there was actually wrestling. Shawn Michaels won the Intercontinental Championship from the British Bulldog. British Bulldog was ultimately fired amidst steroid allegations. So was the Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig. WWE had to clean up the locker room. Vince McMahon was feeling pressure from every which way about steroid allegations. That's why Hulk Hogan wasn't there anymore. He resurfaced in 1993 to win the WWF title from Yokozuna, who just fought Bret Hart 15 minutes earlier. Still, how that came to be, I have no fucking idea. Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart, respectively, won the Intercontinental titles and the WWF titles 2 weeks apart from one another in the same month to ultimately change that main event for Survivor Series. Ultimate Warrior was supposed to team up with Macho Man Randy Savage against Ric Flair and Razor Ramon in a standard tag team match. As you see, Survivor Series wasn't just about 4-on-4 anymore. That Survivor Series also had Big Boss Man versus Nails in a nightstick on a pole match. Someone take the nightstick and beat me with it because I had to actually sit through that garbage. My God. Nails was awful. Nails was just fucking terrible, dude. 1993. This is where we get into the good stuff, man. Not an overly great pay-per-view, but a pay-per-view that was so near and dear to my heart. A pay-per-view that I actually go back and watch every single year because I love it so much. Yeah, Bret Hart and Owen Hart start their brotherly feud, which ultimately led to their match at WrestleMania 10, which ended up being one of the greatest matches that WWE had ever produced. That match was with the Knights and the Hart brothers. It was supposed to be Jerry the King Lawler. It got replaced by Shawn Michaels. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to Jerry the King Lawler at that time, but I know Shawn Michaels was coming back from a drug suspension. And he was the Intercontinental Champion still. He had a great 1993. He had beaten Marty Jannetty at the Royal Rumble. He had beaten Tatanka at WrestleMania 9. He had beaten Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 1993. And he had beaten Crush at the 1993 King of the Ring. It was a very eventful year for Shawn Michaels. So they suspended him as the champion, and then they come back with him as champion. He had the actual Intercontinental Championship title. They made a new one for Razor Ramon, which he won the Intercontinental Championship in a tournament that year against the model Rick Martel on Monday Night Raw. That culminated on Monday Night Raw. So now we had dueling Intercontinental Champions. We had the real champion, Shawn Michaels, and we had the fake champion in Razor Ramon. Not the other way around, clowns. Shawn Michaels never lost it. That's what resulted in their ladder match at WrestleMania 10. Again, one of the greatest productions that WWE's ever put on. But it was the Knights and the Hart family and Bret and Owen starting their thing. The opening match to that Survivor Series was Razor Ramon's team of Marty Jannetty, the 1-2-3 Kid, and Macho Man Randy Savage against Adam Bomb with Johnny Polo. We had Rick Martel, we had Diesel, and we had IRS. Just great tag team match, man. Classic Survivor Series. You want classic Survivor Series, you watch that match right there. My most favorite thing of Survivor Series 1993 was Bam Bam Bigelow's team just being destroyed by Men on a Mission and the Bushwhackers. No, I'm kidding. Any pay-per-view with the Bushwhackers is just put a gun to my head worthy. My favorite thing on that Survivor Series, man, was when the Foreign Fanatics versus the All-Americans happened. And the Undertaker was an All-American. Cheesy, I know, when he comes out draping his fucking coat in the American flag. I know. But when Lex Luger was being beaten down by Yokozuna and Ludwig Borga, he had to make a hot tag. The only one on his team was The Undertaker. Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner ultimately got eliminated. Undertaker gets the hot tag, and I never seen a crowd go so crazy for a hot fucking tag, man. Undertaker, clothesline, flying clothesline, DDT. You know? Just all over Yokozuna. Yokozuna comes back with the belly-to-belly, comes back with the leg drop, comes back with the bonsai drop. Undertaker kicks out. Undertaker sits up. Some great shit, man. Undertaker's head got thrown into the steel steps. Impervious to pain was the Undertaker. That's what set up their casket match at the 1994 Royal Rumble. Great shit. I urge you guys to go back and watch that. 1993, seen also the Undertaker challenge Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 9 and the infamous chloroform incident. I don't know why I'm mentioning that. I don't know why I'm mentioning it. I got my casket matches mixed up. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm thinking about Yokozuna and the Undertaker casket match. I don't know why I'm mentioning Undertaker and Giant Gonzalez. I never want to see such nightmares ever again. Undertaker and Yokozuna at the 1994 Royal Rumble. That casket match, when the Undertaker ascended into the sky. Fast forward to 1994 Survivor Series, we had the rematch with Chuck Norris as the special guest referee. Memorable moment. Memorable moment. That's not the most memorable thing that happened at the 1994 Survivor Series. Bret the Hitman Hart defending the WWF title against a crazed lunatic known as Bob Backlund. And this all revolved around Bob Backlund getting the WWF Championship because of Owen Hart's weaselly ways. He won an Academy Award on this night, convincing Helen Hart and Stu Hart to throw in the towel. That pink and black towel. He did. Bret was in the chicken wing. Owen was crying, sad about the just way he's been acting. The matches that they had that year, the WrestleMania match, the steel cage match at SummerSlam for the WWF Championship, great matches. Now Owen's apologetic. He doesn't want to see Bret's arm being broken. You know, he's going to break his arm. Bret's in the chicken wing for over 10 minutes, blood dripping from his face, his eye. Bulldog is in the crowd. Davey Boy Smith, British Bulldog's in the crowd. He's trying to tell Owen, shut the fuck up. Don't throw in the towel. So Bulldog hops the barricade, starts chasing Owen around ringside. Bulldog lunges at Owen to tackle him, and he nails himself on the steel steps, knocking himself out. Helen is so distraught as Bret's mother. Takes the towel from Owen, throws it in. Owen can't believe what happened. Shock looked on his face. He takes the towel, and he laughs, holding the towel as if it's a title in his hand as he runs down the aisleway. Nobody knows what the fuck happened. Owen is ecstatic that Bret Hart lost the WWF Championship to Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund then lost it to Diesel 8 days later at Madison Square Garden. Go figure. 1995 Survivor Series. Diesel coming off his 8-second victory at Madison Square Garden against Bob Backlund, consisting of nothing but a powerbomb, was challenged by Bret the Hitman Hart for the WWF Championship. If you really want to go back and watch that match, you could see glimpses of this really being the start of the real Attitude Era. Attitude in WWF was changing. It all started with Diesel. It all started with Kevin Nash. This match was fantastic. People don't like Kevin Nash's reign. This was his crowning moment as WWF champ before he lost to Bret Hart on this night. This match was fantastic. The storytelling was fantastic. The match was great. Bret, the smaller man, versus the overly large, giant WWF champion Diesel. Bret had to do something to take Diesel down. Picks up a camera wire, wraps it around his leg, and immobilizes Diesel for a good portion of the match. Diesel lost the title with a small package. A small package beat the WWF champion. Out of nowhere. We were all fucking like, what the fuck? It was a good what the fuck, but it was a what the fuck nonetheless. Kevin Nash turned heel, elbowing and smashing officials' faces, powerbombing Bret the Hitman Hart out of sheer jealousy that he got beat by the better man. Great match, man. You got to go back and watch it. 1996, we come to Madison Square Garden, I believe, and this is where we see Bret the Hitman Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin for the first time. Need I say more? We go back to 1997. We also see Mankind versus The Undertaker. And probably what is my most favorite feud in WWF history. Need I say more? We go back and watch 1997 and we see Sid Vicious give Jose Lothario a heart attack by taking a camera and smashing it on his chest. Ultimately powerbombing Shawn Michaels to victory. Madison Square Garden went crazy. They were actually happy Shawn Michaels lost the WWF Championship and happy he got powerbombed by Sid Vicious. Crazy shit. Crazy shit, man. 1997, we all know, was the Montreal Screwjob. We all know about that. Shawn Michaels winning the WWE Heavyweight Championship inside the first ever Elimination Chamber with Triple H and Booker T and Chris Jericho and Rob Van Dam. Kane, I believe, was in that match as well, if I'm not mistaken. Memories that are just so great. Memories like this, man, all from Survivor Series. All from the Survivor Series. WWE is going to make more memories on Sunday night with Survivor Series. More memories from Survivor Series on Sunday night. This card has undergone drastic changes. This card has undergone a facelift. This card has made necessary changes. WWE announced the Survivor Series card after TLC, and we were all like, what? What is this? Mahal versus Lesnar. Corbin versus The Miz. Natty versus Alexa. The only match that we were all looking forward to was Rollins and Ambrose versus the Usos. NXT had WarGames. WWE was resurrecting WarGames and bringing it to NXT. That's all everybody was talking about. WWE, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that WWE changed this card to the way we see it today because of NXT, but you're not going to convince me that NXT did not have at least some effect on WWE changing the card to what they have now. NXT was receiving so much praise. NXT was receiving so much hype and love for the fact that they were bringing back WarGames, and WWE was presenting us with Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. Now, if you're a wrestling fan, which one of you is going to watch which show? Like, what show are you going to watch? Survivor Series or NXT? 10 out of 10 are watching NXT over Survivor Series. WWE, I firmly believe they changed the card for Survivor Series because of what NXT was doing. May not be the number one reason, but it definitely has a reason for why the card is changing. Now, we're in Houston, Texas for Survivor Series. There could be a multiple of reasons why WWE changed this card. Maybe because WWE realized that TLC was just a circus, and they promised things that they really couldn't deliver, which wasn't their fault, and they want to make up for it with Survivor Series. Maybe Survivor Series tickets weren't selling well, and they needed to just boost this show with star power. That's another thing we'll talk about. Maybe they feel that Houston just deserves a fucking great show after what they went through this year with Hurricane Harvey. I don't know what the reason is, man, but I do know that the hype and everything that NXT has been receiving with WarGames, going up against what WWE had presented with Survivor Series, I'm sure it pushed WWE to make the right changes. I feel like they should start seeing NXT as legit competition, because every time there's a big four, you're going to see NXT bringing their A game right there that weekend. WWE, no matter the way you look at it, you got to commend them for this card. You got to give it up for them changing the card. Whether you are a wrestling fan, whether you hate WWE or not, you got to give it up to them. You're going to enjoy yourself on Sunday night. I'm going to enjoy myself on Sunday night. For the first time this year, I am giving up all the bullshit, and I'm going to enjoy myself. Yes, I understand that the rivalry between Raw and SmackDown doesn't really exist. Yes, I understand that there are a lot of logic holes in these storylines. Yes, I understand, and this is prevalent, and this is staring you right in the face. Yes, I understand that WWE has failed to create new stars, and they fail to give new stars opportunity. Case in point, taking Jason Jordan, which I didn't think he belonged in the match anyway, but it's got to be discussed. Taking Jason Jordan's opportunity away and giving it to Triple H. Not featuring somebody like Elias on Team Raw. You know? Taking away a spot from Rusev to put John Cena on SmackDown. I don't know why WWE does what they do. WWE wants to make money. WWE wants to build this to be the biggest ever. And while they got these guys still walking on two legs, they're going to be booking them in these types of situations. McMahon, Angle, Triple H, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. Part-timer, semi-retired WWF superstars are going to be featured the way that they are at Survivor Series. But it does open up the idea, and it does open up the talking point that WWE has failed to create new stars, and they are afraid to give opportunity to new stars. Simple as that. It can't be overlooked. It's there. But I'm also not going to be a fucking idiot and go against everybody who's genuinely going to enjoy this show and this match, because it's going to be a damn good one. The match itself opens up so many possibilities. So many possibilities. I mean, look at the match that we got between Raw and SmackDown men's. Shane and Angle reliving their history. Shane and Triple H, something that we all want to see at WrestleMania, or that has been rumored and pitched for WrestleMania. We could virtually see these two guys in the ring at the same time, beating the shit out of one another. See Triple H and Randy Orton go at it one-on-one. Triple H and John Cena go at it one-on-one. We can see Triple H going up against two guys that he highly touted in NXT, in Nakamura and Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode especially, father and son. Who's got the best spine buster? We'll find out at Survivor Series. Triple H and Nakamura, right? Angle and Cena, again. Angle and Cena. Angle and Nakamura. Angle and Roode. We got Joe and Nakamura again. Joe and Cena. Joe and Roode. Joe and Nakamura. Joe Roode. You know. Joe McMahon. We got Balor and Roode. Balor and Nakamura. Balor and Cena. Strowman and everybody. So many dream match scenarios in that one match, man. It's very difficult to even have anything bad to say about it, outside of the fact that WWE is afraid of pushing new talent. If you're not excited about this match, there's something wrong with you, man. I'm not an idiot. I'm going to be real with you, but I'm not an idiot. This match is going to be a memory in itself. Just like all the memories that I talked about at the beginning of the show. This match is going to be a memory in itself. The 2017 Survivor Series is going to create a new memory. Memory for me, memory for the old school heads, and a memory for new fans. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar are going to create a new memory. This is a dream match that nobody thought we would ever see. Nobody thought we'd ever see this match. WWE changed it for the better. They took out Mahal and put AJ Styles in his place, giving you a greater match. WWE had an open spot for SmackDown Live. Insert John Cena. They made it a greater match because John Cena's there. Jason Jordan was there. They ultimately took Jason Jordan out and put Triple H in that role. Made it a greater match. AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar could be a match of the year candidate if they let both of these guys go out there and create magic. I don't want to see, and nobody wants to see, a Brock Lesnar 5-minute suplex fest. This is AJ Styles. This is the best in the world. We know Brock Lesnar can wrestle. I want to see a wrestling match. I don't want to see AJ go in there and then get decimated in 5 minutes. Yes, I still want to see AJ lose, because I am just thinking about how great that's going to look as he goes for the phenomenal forearm and that gets caught in an F5. But it's a dream match scenario, and there's a lot to be excited about. We got The Bar versus the Usos. It was originally the Shield versus the Usos. WWE made the card, not necessarily the match greater, but the card greater by taking out Rollins and Ambrose as champion, insert The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, who probably right now are doing the best work of their entire lives, against the Usos. But they made the overall card greater because now we're getting the Shield as a threesome against the New Day. Every decision WWE made to make this card what it should have been was a decision of greater importance. They did it with Charlotte. Natty was supposed to go against Alexa Bliss. They took Natty's title reign away from her on Tuesday's SmackDown, put Charlotte in there. Charlotte versus Alexa is a match that pits two women in this company, the only two women in this company to have won the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. It's a greater match. What happens to Natalya? I got news on that. But every decision WWE made has made this card greater. Yes, we still got The Miz and Corbin. Yes, we still got Kalisto and Enzo Amore. We got the women's match, Raw versus SmackDown. Survivor Series 2017 is going to create new memories, man. New memories. And we're going to go over everything today on this podcast. We're going to do the entire preview, the entire predictions. Like I said, man, I was actually nervous about doing this show because there's just so much that's going to go into this show. I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle it. I don't know, man. But Survivor Series in itself has just so much coming out of it, and it's going to correlate right through this podcast. And I can't wait to get into it. I can't wait to dive into it. This is Off the Script. This is the number one fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. This is Off the Script, episode 196, part number 2 for your Saturday, your NXT TakeOver Saturday, WarGames Saturday, November 18th, 2017. I am, of course, JD. This is, of course, the Kenny Omega of wrestling podcasts right here on YouTube.com. Nobody does it better than Off the Script. I want to thank you guys so much for coming out. Part 1 is live on the channel right now. If you guys missed it, if you guys give a shit at all about NXT TakeOver WarGames. Preview and predictions. Adam Cole there, looking shocked. That's how I want to look at the amount of chaos that's going to be seen in WarGames tonight. If you guys missed that, it is live on the channel right now. Link in the top right corner of the screen in the annotation. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Follow JD on social media at JDFROMNY206 on Twitter. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications. Thank you guys so very much. Next week, we got Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for, man? I'm thankful for a lot. But with Thanksgiving comes the biggest shopping day of the year, Black Friday. And I've been hyping, and I've been telling you, Pro Wrestling Tees is going to have their biggest sale of the year. And I figure this show is big enough today. With the Survivor Series preview and predictions, I feel like the show is big enough today where I can get everybody excited and unveil what I've been wanting to unveil. Connor has given me the last 2 designs for the year. Connor has given me 2 designs that I've wanted up on the store before Black Friday, and it's going to happen. You guys are going to be able to purchase these 2 beasts on Black Friday and for the remainder of that week because you are going to get 20% off in Pro Wrestling Tees' biggest sale of the year. I present to you the very first Jinder Mahal Get Off My TV design. You love Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters. I thought, how can I get across Jinder as Get Off My TV worthy? The best and most simplest way that I can. There you go. There you go, man. You got a turban and a beard. You know who it is. Get Off My TV, Jinder Mahal, coming to barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. You guys know how I love benching fucking assholes on Twitter. JD, will there be a bench t-shirt? You damn well there's a benched fucking t-shirt. And it's coming to barbershopwindow.com/offthescript this Black Friday. I introduce to you the very first benched TV. Well, not benched TV, but benched shirt. Eat, sleep, bench, repeat. With the Off the Script logo right there at the bottom of the shirt, man. It's a take on the Brock Lesnar design. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. Eat, sleep, bench, repeat. Right there, man. Those 2 shirts will be on sale, 20% off. I will give you guys all the information on Sunday's show of Off the Script. Thank you guys so much for that. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. If you guys want to listen to the number one fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for WWE, you got to look good while doing it. I got to supply you guys with the best. We all hate gender. We all love benching nerds on Twitter. There you go, man. That's my gift to you. barbershopwindow.com/off-the-script. Let's get into the Survivor Series build, man. I got a lot to go over. My God, man, this is a daunting task. A daunting task. I want to first start off with news. We talked about NXT last night. Or NXT yesterday, rather. WarGames. WarGames has no roof on the cage. We all wondered why. Triple H gave us the reason that Arn Anderson wasn't flying off cages back in the 80s. It's a different breed of athlete in 2017, which opens up more chaos, which opens up more freedom for everybody involved. I'm okay with that. I'm certainly okay with that. But news reared its ugly head late last night. I got it. Triple H fought for a more traditional WarGames cage, but Vince McMahon overruled him. So, whether you think Triple H is the man behind NXT, this is clear as day. Vince McMahon is the ruler of everything. No matter if it's a decision in NXT that needs to be made, Vince has his finger in everything. Every cookie jar that is WWE, Vince needs a taste of every fucking cookie. As Triple H noted on Wednesday's NXT TakeOver WarGames conference call, which we discussed on yesterday's Off the Script, the WarGames cage on Saturday night will not have a roof on it. He explains that they wanted to tweak the match and adjust to current wrestling styles. If you are upset because WWE is not being true to the original WarGames concept, then the person to blame here is not good old Triple H. On Thursday's Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez pointed out that it was Vince McMahon's call to remove the roof off the double cage. Alvarez said, and I quote, "Vince didn't want a roof. He was adamant about it. Like this was a big topic of conversation in a writer's meeting. Was a roof on this stupid cage. Every WarGames has had a roof, and obviously Triple H wanted a roof on the cage, and Vince says, I don't want a roof. Hunter went and said, I want a roof. And they went back and forth." Alvarez continued, "For those wondering who's in charge, still to this day, everywhere, it's Vince McMahon. There's no roof on this cage. So if you're up in arms about it, that's the story behind the roof not being on the cage." Alvarez also pointed out that Triple H has been trying for a long time to bring back the WarGames match. There you got it. Just to go over one more time before tonight's event, the WarGames rules are as follows. A steel cage will surround 2 rings. I will be very interested to see how WWE's production would. WarGames? Is there going to be feasting on wood in these games? Jumping over logs of wood? No, Don. No, there will not be. The steel cage. I'm wondering how the production really is going to be, though. Like, how are we going to watch the women's match and then know that there's a ring, an empty ring, right next to the original ring that we're watching the match in? It's going to be interesting, man. I don't think I've ever seen. I was not a big WCW guy back in the day. I never watched any of the WarGames matches as they happened. I was always a WWE, WWF guy. But the rules for this match are as follows. The steel cage will surround the 2 rings. 1 member of each ring will start the match. Remaining members will be in a separate shark cage by the entrance until it's time to enter the match. After 5 minutes, remaining members from one team will be allowed to enter the match. After a 3-minute period, the remaining members of another team will enter the match. After another 3-minute period, the final team's members will enter the match. Once all the teams have entered the match, victory can be attained by pinfall or submission. Either way you look at it, it's going to be a big, big night. And I will cover it tonight right here on the channel with the official review and results. I want to start off with the women's match, man. This has been a topic of high discussion, big discussion everywhere. Not only because Asuka is on Team Raw, but now we ultimately have a vacant spot for the 5th and final member of SmackDown Live. No more do we have a rumor or speculation on the 5th woman on SmackDown Live. Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley will go against Becky, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and now, as of this morning, Shane McMahon posted individual competition drives every SmackDown Live superstar, even in defeat. Natalya proved herself to be a fierce competitor and will be an asset to Team SmackDown's 5-on-5 Survivor Series team. Let's go to work, Natty. Natalya is the fifth woman for SmackDown Live. It would have been shitty for Natty to lose the title and then ultimately be left off the card for a returning Nikki Bella or a returning Paige or a returning anybody. NXT talent they want to bring up, whatever. Debut in NXT talent, whatever. I like this decision, man, and I'll tell you why. And it makes all the reason in the world to like this decision. You got to keep in mind that this match, if WWE is going to book this match the right way on Sunday night, it has to revolve around Asuka. It has to revolve around Asuka. If you put a Nikki Bella and if you put a Paige in that match, it is going to overshadow Asuka being on that team. Yes, WWE, for every other match, has made a greater decision to build this show up as the biggest show of the year. Charlotte taking Natty's place. AJ taking Mahal's place. Cena taking the 5th spot on the men's SmackDown team. Triple H taking Jason Jordan's spot. It would make sense. It would make all the sense in the world to put a Paige taking Natalya's spot. Look at the talent that's left off this show. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jinder Mahal, Rusev, Luke Harper, right? Ty Dillinger, Dolph Ziggler, Elias Sampson, Jason Jordan, Matt Hardy. Could put these guys in one fucking big battle royal for all I care. All these guys left off the show. You know, and I'm sure I'm missing more than that. Zack Ryder. All these guys left off the show. Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable. If WWE put Paige in that match, it would have overshadowed everything that match was supposed to be. This match is about Asuka. And you're not going to bring back a Nikki Bella, and you're not going to bring back a Paige, ultimately to have them defeated by Team Raw anyway. So you're going to put Natalya in there, and you're going to have her bad week continue. I'd rather have Natty take a pinfall than seeing a Paige take a pinfall in her return, or a Nikki Bella take a pinfall in her return. This match is about Asuka, and I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that WWE is going to book this match around Asuka. I would be shocked if Asuka is eliminated in any way here. I don't want to see a DQ. I don't want to see a count out. God forbid there's a pinfall. God forbid there's a pinfall. But I will say this. If WWE is going to book this match anyway, there needs to be a sole survivor. And that sole survivor needs to be Asuka. Because right now, nobody is ready for Asuka. Not even Monday Night Raw is ready for Asuka. It's bad enough that she's in this match. They gave her Emma. Emma was released. Then they put her against enhancement talent. And they want to showcase dominance of Asuka. Now Asuka's in this match with every big female superstar on the roster. You're not going to have her go in there and get eliminated. I want Asuka to remain on the outside and be in the match when it's right. Have her stare down a 3-on-1 with Becky, Natty, and Naomi. One after one after one. The cookie falls, or the cookie crumbles. Asuka is the sole survivor. Asuka and Becky, the sole two final women in the match. Asuka lock. Becky taps. Asuka is on her way to being the biggest entity in the women's division. You couldn't do that if Paige was in the match. You couldn't do that if Nikki Bella was in the match. You're not going to have those two women come to this match, re-debut, and lose. Do you want to know why Natty was in there? It's because this match, I'm hoping, is all about Asuka. I'm going with Team Raw. And the reason I'm going with Team Raw is for one woman and one woman only. And that is Asuka. Now, there was speculation about someone being the 5th and final member. You know, there was rumors of Natalya just being shifted. That was the case. Paige returning. Nikki Bella returning. There was even rumors of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay making their debut Peyton Royce or Billie Kay making their debut for SmackDown Live. None of that is actually happening. As you guys can see by the tweet that I just put on the screen, Shane McMahon is picking Natty because he feels that Natty has done a lot and she deserves this spot on SmackDown Live. They're doing it for Asuka. Hopefully, they do the right thing and build Asuka up for the Survivor Series as she goes on to be the most dominant female in the division. Now, there is a rumor going around that Carmella could cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, there's news here, and there's a tweet going with this. And I want to show you guys the tweet first. This is from Hall of Famer Medusa. Wouldn't it be something if Carmella would show up to this event and cash in and took both titles? Has that ever been done? Now, I've tried to wrap my head around this, rather, over this sheer stupidity. How does anything like that even happen? Why is she tweeting out something that is virtually impossible of happening? And then people are saying, yeah, this is a good idea. Yeah, I would like this. You know? There really is no ruling. WWE, honestly, I mean, we're under the assumption that she won it on SmackDown Live, so it's only valid for the SmackDown title. But what if Carmella, there is no rules binding her to SmackDown only? What if Carmella does cash in on Alexa Bliss, wins the Raw Women's title, moves over to Raw? As a result, Paige then gets shifted over to SmackDown Live to fill that void with Carmella leaving SmackDown Live. And what if they have, which I think this would be a better idea, honestly, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head now. If Carmella does win and cash in against Alexa Bliss, which again, I will state that there are no rules for this. What if WWE would rather have Asuka beat Carmella instead of squashing Alexa? Wouldn't that make more sense? Wouldn't you rather see that? Wouldn't WWE be better off if they give Carmella a token title run? Because I don't think she's really ready for a title run. Not with the talent that's on that roster. She really hasn't proven anything at all. You know? I'd much rather see anybody a champion over Carmella, as long as it's not Tamina or Lana. Doesn't really bring excitement. Give her a token title run. Have her cash in on Alexa. Surprise everybody. Be different. Shock people. Carmella wins the title. What the fuck? Moves over to Monday Night Raw. To fill that void, you bring Paige over to SmackDown. Asuka is on her way to being the new women's champion anyway. Might as well have her squash Carmella, then squash Alexa. I like that idea, man. I like that idea a lot. Now, that tweet didn't make any sense, and I'm still trying to figure out how that would even be possible. I don't think there is. If anybody has a scenario where that could actually happen, I'd love to hear it. But I don't think there is one. This is WWE. I'm sure they can change things on a whim, but I don't know why they would give one woman 2 titles unless you're going to move the entire division to one brand, which I opted for way back in the day. Now, there is speculation on her cashing in at Survivor Series because she's just holding this thing. She hasn't done anything with it. Scenario 1. Alexa and Charlotte wrestle for a decent amount of time. Carmella comes out. She ends up teaming with Bliss with a 2-on-1 assault on Charlotte. Alexa first pins Charlotte to win, followed by Carmella cashing in to win the title. The idea would be that this gets heat on both Carmella and Alexa. Scenario 2, in a swerve, Carmella cashes in on Alexa to become the Raw Women's Champion. I don't remember if there was any statement that it had to be SmackDown only. Carmella would join Raw's roster. And then whatever idea you had of Paige on Raw, you just move her over to SmackDown to take Carmella's spot. Because I'd like to see some Paige and Charlotte action. Carmella cashes in and wins both SmackDown Women's title and Raw's title. This idea, like I said, was proposed by Medusa, this goon. I don't know how this makes any sense. If someone could figure that one out, please. You'll be a fucking Nobel Peace Prize winner, because I can't figure that shit out. Scenario number 4, Carmella teases a cash-in, but doesn't. She continues to hold the briefcase and do nothing with it. That's that right now. That's that. I don't know. I would not mind the Raw scenario, to be honest with you. I think that would be different. And the stage certainly calls for it. Speaking of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, might as well talk about that match and talk about who I think is going to win that match. This match should be damn good. Two women, two of the only women to have both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships on their resume. Alexa Bliss has been pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and you just feel that her time is coming to an end. She's not going to be champion too much longer. Charlotte just won the title from Natty on SmackDown Live in a very good match. And they did it because they want to continue to build on the momentum that is ESPN's special on Ric Flair. Couldn't have Charlotte go out there after debuting the Ric Flair 30 for 30 and have her lose the match, have his daughter lose the match and the opportunity of the title. And it does make sense. Everyone much rather see Charlotte versus Alexa than Natty versus Alexa. Just be honest with yourself. This is a greater match than what was originally presented. Do I think Charlotte loses this match after just winning the title? Coming off the emotional get-together or the emotional meet-up that was, or the emotional surprise, whatever you want to call it, from Ric Flair? No, I don't think she loses this match. I honestly think Charlotte wins this match. If there's a cash-in, there's a cash-in. Do I think there's going to be a cash-in? No. Do I want to see a cash-in? Yes, I do. I think that would create a lot of buzz around the women's division. And it would create a sense of unpredictability. I don't want to see anybody on SmackDown Live be cashed in on. I don't. If she wanted to do it, she would have did it already. This creates an ultimate opportunity. You have Alexa feel cheated. You would have Alexa, spared in the oncoming Asuka hurricane that's coming in. I'd rather have Carmella be squashed by Asuka than Alexa Bliss be squashed by Asuka. Charlotte's going to win just based on the fact that I think it's going to continue the momentum from what she did on Tuesday night. That's what I'm thinking about that. Intercontinental Champion The Miz with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas versus United States Champion Baron Corbin. The Miz hasn't done anything with this title. The Miz hasn't done anything as far as importance on Monday Night Raw. And a lot has to do with the way they're booking him and the way they're creatively just scripting him on television. He sounds fantastic. He's never sounded better. The Miz seems to have his hand in everything. But as Intercontinental Champion, it doesn't really fit with him anymore. Baron Corbin, it doesn't fit with him either. Now, there are rumors after Survivor Series that Baron Corbin and Bobby Roode are going to be going one-on-one in a program for the United States Championship. I could see Baron Corbin losing the title to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode being the new U.S. champion as he moves up the ranks, get the U.S. title first, and then maybe next year, WWE Championship. I could see that happening. But as far as this match goes, there's really nothing to this match. If there's one match that I'm looking forward to the least out of everything on this show, it's this one. Because there's no emotion, there's no hype, there's no build outside of 2 Twitter promos that they cut on one another. There's nothing about this match. The fact that they're both heels, I don't give a shit about either one of these guys. I don't give a shit about either one of these guys at all. And the fact that I know Baron Corbin really can't dance with anyone too well in the ring on his own anyway. He's going to dance with The Miz? The Miz is a capable wrestler, but is he capable enough to bring Baron Corbin to a decent match? No. I don't think there's going to be any flow to this match whatsoever. I don't think there's going to be any chemistry to this match whatsoever. Who needs it more? You already had The Miz embarrassed by Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw, so why don't you just keep that gravy train rolling? He automatically just decimated everybody in the Miztourage. Let's keep that gravy train rolling. Who needs it more? Baron Corbin's been looking like a tough guy, a badass on SmackDown Live. You're not going to have him lose to The Miz. If Baron Corbin does lose to The Miz, it's going to be because of a 3-on-1 situation. But what I really want to have happen here is Baron Corbin should really look strong as champion. The Miz has gone through and been embarrassed every which way on Monday Night Raw. Why go away from that now? Just give him an end of days and be over with it. Baron Corbin with an end of days is going to beat The Miz at Survivor Series. That is my prediction. The Shield versus The New Day. Shield consisting of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins versus The New Day. Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods. WWE didn't get their token Shield reunion at TLC, so now we got our token Shield reunion at the Survivor Series. And it comes in a way because Rollins and Ambrose lost the Tag Team Championships because of The New Day as they under-sieged Monday Night Raw again, causing a huge distraction in their match with The Bar. Match was still going on. Next thing you know, Sheamus is pinning Dean Ambrose, or Seth Rollins rather, for the Tag Team Championships, and The Bar is once again Tag Team Champions. So now this sets up the fact that Ambrose and Rollins feel like The New Day fucked them over. Insert Roman Reigns, who's now healthy and good to go from whatever illness that he had. Put him on Survivor Series, get the Shield back together in their first official match back on pay-per-view against guys who are capable of drawing against the New Day, and that is the Shield. Are they going to be a viable threat to the New Day? No. Is this going to be an entertaining match? You damn well it's going to be an entertaining match. I think this is going to be a great match. Is it going to have Shield, Wyatt family type vibes to it? No, it's not. But do I think these guys are going to try and go out there and steal the show after what the New Day has done this year with the Usos in a tag team title feud on SmackDown Live, spanning 3 or 4 different pay-per-views? You think that they're going to go into Survivor Series against the Shield and not try to outdo everything that's on this show? This is going to be a damn good match. I don't really care for these teams in this instance. I think the New Day's done their best work ever with the Usos this year. I don't really care about the Shield because you know why the Shield is back together. I'm not enjoying it. I know the reason for them being around. I know WWE's agenda behind it. And it all revolves around Roman Reigns and getting him to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. And him being accepted by the fans, which it's not going to work out because we know when Roman's not in the Shield, it's going to fucking just reverse right back to the way it was with him being booed out of the building when he's on his own. It's not going to be with Ambrose and Rollins for the rest of his career. He's not going to be receiving these reactions every single week for the rest of his career. He's going to be on his own again. And it's going to go right back to being, let's all hate on Roman because WWE is shoving him down our throats. We all know that. But I know this match is going to be a damn good one. And there's no way that the Shield is going to lose this match. There's no way the Shield is going to lose their first pay-per-view match back together, reunited. Shield is going to go over the New Day at Survivor Series. Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar, versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, Raw Tag Team Champions, versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now, this came about, like I said, because The Bar beat the Shield. It was originally supposed to be Rollins and Ambrose versus the Usos, which I was heavily invested in right out of the gate because they were teasing it during SummerSlam weekend, and I would have loved to seen that. But like I said in the outset, like I said in the intro, taking the championships off of Rollins and Ambrose and making the Shield versus the New Day and then putting The Bar against the Usos ultimately made this card a better show. So in no way am I going to sit here and tell you I have a problem with it. It makes the overall show better. The overall card of this show is that much greater because of that one change. Do I like the hot-shotting of the Tag Team Championships? No. Do I like the fact and the state of the Tag Team division on Monday Night Raw right now? No, I do not. Because there's only 2 teams. There's only The Bar and there's only the Shield. Outside of that, the club is useless, and Rhino and Slater might as well not even be employed. The Revival is set to come back in December. I'm hoping that they automatically, there's no way you can't put them in there. I'm hoping that they automatically get thrust into the tag team title picture because they would be perfect catalysts to destroy the Shield and cause friction and conflict between Ambrose and Rollins, setting them up for 2018 and what I hope is a Rollins and Ambrose match at WrestleMania 34. But this match is going to be a damn good one, man. If you guys date back to last year and the tag team elimination match that they had, that fucking clusterfuck of a tag team elimination match featuring all the tag teams on Raw and all the tag teams on SmackDown in this big Survivor Series-esque match, when one guy from one team was eliminated, the entire team was eliminated, that was shit. Shit match. That's why WWE's concept this year is so much better, but it doesn't have any feeling or emotion behind it. It's done for the 2, 3, 4 weeks that it is, because it's Survivor Series build, but after this, where are we going to go? We're going to go right back to being Raw, and we're going to go right back to being SmackDown. You know, meanwhile, this tension and this friction and this chaos between both of these brands should have been built up all year, with little shots here and there. You know, maybe an Alexa Bliss or an Usos sitting in on SmackDown or Raw, respectively, you know? Something along those lines. Shock us. Surprise us. Have fun with it. You got two fucking distinct rosters here with more to come coming up from NXT, because NXT constantly replenishes itself, so the need for new talent coming in is going to force the talent that's there to be moved up. You're going to have rosters busting at the seams here. Have fun with it. Shit like this is fun. WWE's made this a fun card. WWE's made this like a 2K18 fucking dream match scenario here, you know? And I like the brand split aspect. The fact that we haven't seen all year Sheamus and Cesaro go against the Usos. It's a fresh fucking match. The Shield versus the New Day. It's a fresh fucking match. Alexa versus Charlotte. Fresh match. The fact that we got dream matches everywhere in the men's match. It's just fun. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. Dream match. Sheamus and Cesaro just won the tag team championships. The Usos have been hot. Hot. This is the toughest match to call on this show. And I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to say Sheamus and Cesaro win this match. I think the Usos got the best of the Bar last year. I think this year Sheamus and Cesaro get the best of the Usos. It's going to be a damn good fucking physical match. I can't wait to see what these two teams do. And if it's any indication of what they did last year, this year, with both teams being that much better and the Usos being the best tag team in the WWE right now, Sheamus and Cesaro doing the best work of their lives, it's going to be a damn good match, man. It is heel versus heel, but I don't think that's going to really matter at the end of this. Same thing happened with Sanity and the Authors of Pain. You know, when Sanity won the NXT Tag Team Championships from the Authors of Pain, that was a heel versus heel dynamic. At the end of that match, people were fucking going crazy because it was a damn good fucking match. Sanity ended up being baby faces in that match. Just because. I think the same thing's going to happen here with one of these guys. The match is going to be so damn good that people aren't even going to give a shit about the match being heel versus heel. That's how much faith I have in both of these teams to do that and create that type of environment. I'm going with Sheamus and Cesaro off their tag team championship title victory. I'm sticking with them. I think the Bar go over the Usos at Survivor Series. Enzo versus Kalisto. This is a pre-show match. I'm hearing right now that there's going to be another pre-show match, which I'm assuming it would be the Intercontinental Championship, The Miz versus Baron Corbin. Not really sure on that yet, but if I had to choose one, that would certainly be it, because no other match on this is pre-show worthy. Enzo versus Kalisto. Not going to spend too much time here on this one. Enzo beat Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship at TLC. Kalisto invoked his rematch clause on 205 Live. And Amore retained after he was disqualified for attacking the referee. Kalisto then, out of anger, attacked Amore. Kalisto defeated Drew Gulak, who had Amore in his corner on Monday Night Raw. The following week, after the match, Amore attacked Kalisto with the Jodanzo. Another rematch between the two was set for the Cruiserweight Championship, which was scheduled for the Survivor Series. This is seeing its last legs. This is not really doing anything to build intrigue for the Cruiserweight division. They're not taking the title off of Enzo Amore, and they're not putting it back on Kalisto. Kalisto didn't do anything for the Cruiserweight division or the Cruiserweight Championship when he did have it for the short stint. They gave it back to Enzo because they are building the show around Enzo, and I don't think WWE is going to stray from that at all. Enzo is going to retain the Cruiserweight Championship here, and Enzo is going to walk out the Cruiserweight Champion. Simple as that. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, quite frankly, I don't care. I really do not care. The men's Survivor Series team. Now, I do have an interesting addition here. If you listen to Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio like I do, I love the man's opinion. He did have an idea to add extra stakes to the men's Survivor Series match. And if you really think about it, this match should have some type of home field advantage to it. There should be something at stake for both teams. Whatever that may be, I don't know. I know Solid Monster brought up back in the day the winner of this match would receive their brand's world title to main event WrestleMania. WWE's not going to want to do that because they're going to go on what they feel is the bigger match for WrestleMania. They're going to make that judgment before the show. They don't want to have something predetermined because of a Survivor Series match. It would be like the MLB All-Star Game. If the American League wins, then they get home field advantage in the World Series. Same goes for the National League. If they win it, they get home field advantage in the World Series. Or that team, whoever's representing the National or American League in the World Series gets home field advantage if that league wins the All-Star Game. That would be the idea behind that. Not sure how that translates into WWE, but it all hinders on WWE's decision. I don't think they'd go with that. I don't think that they would go with a predetermined main event for WrestleMania, just based off a Survivor Series match. But Brian Alvarez has an interesting idea here that I think would really work well. Now, one of the selling points for this year's Survivor Series will be the men's match between Raw and SmackDown. The match is loaded with talent. Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Triple H, make up Team Raw, Shane McMahon, Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and John Cena make up Team SmackDown Live. There is a lot of fans that have a problem with this match because there's no real stakes involved in the match. Some feel like brand supremacy isn't enough, just based on the fact that it kind of feels forced. And there should be something more to fight for. Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio had an interesting idea to add some stakes to the traditional Survivor Series elimination match. This is only an idea and not something that's happening, so just keep that in mind. Brian Alvarez suggested on Wrestling Observer Radio that the winning team guarantees themselves numbers 16 through 30 in the Royal Rumble match. For example, if Raw wins at Survivor Series, which I expect that they do, Raw stars would have an advantage in the Rumble for being the final 15 spots. The losing side would get the first 15 spots in the Rumble, making it more difficult for them to win. The idea would add some motivation to the stars of Raw and SmackDown in this elimination match. I like that idea a lot, man. I think that's a very good idea. Not only would it add drama to the match, not only would it give these guys something to fight for, but it would actually make the Royal Rumble interesting, you know? I think that's a very good idea. Would WWE do something like that in the future? I don't know. But this Raw versus SmackDown match, man, my God, is it fucking loaded? Is it loaded? Kurt Angle's job, seemingly, they didn't really make mention that it really is, but seemingly hangs in the balance. This match is clearly setting up Kurt Angle versus Triple H at WrestleMania 34. Because you see Stephanie McMahon interjecting herself on Monday Night Raw a little bit too much as of late. Saying that Kurt Angle hasn't done a good job. Saying that Kurt Angle let SmackDown Live infiltrate Monday Night Raw. She even caused a stir on social media, kind of just blatantly calling Angle out. Why didn't you choose John Cena knowing he was a free agent, but you chose Jason Jordan instead? Causing everybody to feel that Stephanie McMahon, again, just pushing her power around and burying Jason Jordan without actually having him be there to be on the receiving end of her verbal tirade. You know? Who is Jason Jordan? What accolades has Jason Jordan accomplished? Why does he deserve the fifth and final spot on this team over John Cena when you knew John Cena was a free agent? So that caused Stephanie McMahon to say, I want Shane's head on a platter. You better take care of this. You better give me a team worthy of Monday Night Raw to take down SmackDown Live. Jason Jordan fights Bray Wyatt on Monday Night Raw, defeats Bray Wyatt on Monday Night Raw with Stephanie and Kurt Angle watching. Kurt Angle's all smiles. Yep, I made the right decision. My son just beat Bray Wyatt, a former WWE champion. So we're good to go, Stephanie. You have nothing to worry about. Needless to say, Bray Wyatt said, fuck this shit. I just lost to Kurt Angle's baby boy. I'm not taking this shit anymore. Injured Jason Jordan on Monday Night Raw. Stephanie McMahon's smile turned to anger once again. Angle's smile turned to a frown because he wasn't sure that Jason Jordan was going to be able to compete at Survivor Series anymore. So Jason Jordan was like, Daddy, please don't take this away from me. I've worked all my life for this, man. And then Kurt Angle comes out and makes a decision saying that this is the toughest decision he ever had to make. Says Jason Jordan is not physically, I can't even say the fucking word, physically fit to represent Monday Night Raw for Survivor Series. Takes Jason Jordan off the Survivor Series team. He didn't want to make the decision. He didn't want to physically say, son, I'm cutting you. He allowed Jason Jordan to come out, speak his case. Stephanie said, Kurt, what are you waiting for? Make the decision, or I'm going to have to make it for you. He didn't do it. Triple H comes out. Triple H with the most epic of all fucking announcements. Are you going to tell your son that he's not on the team, or am I going to have to tell him? Well, fuck this shit. I'm telling him I'm the fifth man on Monday Night Raw. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Wyatt. Jason Jordan pretty much fucked out of this entire situation. Triple H is now the fifth member of Monday Night Raw. This is all going to lead to Kurt Angle and Triple H at WrestleMania 34. How we get there, I don't know. I'm assuming Jason Jordan's going to have a part in that. How that's going to be at Survivor Series, I don't know. You know, Kurt Angle, I don't think he's going to be directly affected by Jason Jordan at Survivor Series. I mean, why would he? Kurt Angle didn't want to make the statement on his son. He didn't want to get rid of his son. He wanted his son on the team. If Jason Jordan is to be angry with anybody, it's Triple H. Do we see Jason Jordan interfere and cost Triple H an elimination? All I know is that this is the start, or this should be the start of Jason Jordan turning heel. Maybe WWE brings it out, or maybe Triple H, of all people, brings it out of Jason Jordan that he really isn't the son of Kurt Angle. Maybe he was doing this just to get ahead. Maybe Jason Jordan was just a pawn to get Kurt Angle out of power on Monday Night Raw. Maybe the Authority is using Jason Jordan as their puppet to get Kurt Angle out of power on Monday Night Raw, because you know they don't want Kurt Angle in power on Monday Night Raw. This is Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's show. They're the Authority. Maybe it'll be revealed because of the Authority that Kurt Angle did not really have Jason Jordan as his son. That Jason Jordan just made up this story to just get ahead. Maybe he was manipulated. You know? Maybe they're going to send Jason Jordan to fight Kurt Angle. Maybe that's what we're going to get. Maybe we're going to heel Jason Jordan versus a babyface Kurt Angle, which leads to Kurt Angle versus Triple H at WrestleMania 34. All I know is with this Jason Jordan situation, you finally gave people something that they wanted. They didn't want Jason Jordan. So now you see the distaste that people have for Jason Jordan. Now, unlike what you did with Roman Reigns, now with Jason Jordan, because he's no Roman Reigns, and they have the opportunity here to do something right as far as babyface and heel, you got to start feeding the hate. You got to start feeding off the hate with Jason Jordan. He needs to be a heel. He needs to give people what they want. People want to hate Jason Jordan, then give them a fucking Jason Jordan that they're going to fucking hate. Simple as that. I don't know how he's going to factor into this, but I think he's going to factor into this. You know? I don't want to see all these interferences in this match. There's just too many to go around. You got the Jason Jordan, Triple H, Kurt Angle situation. You got the combustible Samoa Joe and Finn Balor situation. Are they going to cause themselves to get eliminated? Kane. Is Kane going to resurrect himself and eliminate Braun Strowman? After what we've seen on Monday Night Raw, I don't think Kane is going to cause Braun Strowman an elimination. I could be wrong. But if Braun Strowman does get eliminated, I can't see anybody on the other team eliminating Braun Strowman unless it's by countout. I don't see him being pinned. Or maybe a DQ. But why would he want to do that? Why would he risk himself to get eliminated, giving his team the disadvantage? If he does get eliminated, Kane is going to be directly involved. But I would not have that, because you got so many other things going on right now. What about the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens situation? They're not even on the show. Because you know they're going to have some part in this match. You know that they're going to have some part in Shane McMahon's possible elimination. Maybe Randy Orton as well. You know, Randy Orton's never been eliminated in the Survivor Series. He's been Mr. Survivor Series. Is he going to get eliminated for the first time? You know? How are you going to eliminate Shinsuke Nakamura? Is he going to be pinned by somebody? How are you going to eliminate John Cena? There's just so many combustible elements in this match. I can't, and nobody can predict who's going to get eliminated, how they're going to get eliminated, who's first to get eliminated, who's going to be the sole survivor here, who's going to be the last guy surviving. Nobody knows. This is what makes this match so fun. There's just so many combustible elements as far as this match goes. Now, who do I think is going to win? I think Team Raw is going to win just based on the fact that Kurt Angle's job is in jeopardy. And they're going to prolong this as long as they can before the next layer of storyline is being told, which I'm assuming is going to be Jason Jordan. But that's the way I see it. Monday Night Raw is going to win because of Kurt Angle and Kurt Angle's job in jeopardy. These are theories. I went over some. These are my list of theories right now. The most popular theory amongst everybody is the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens situation. They will appear to cost SmackDown Live the match. That's what I'm going with. That's my prediction. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will have an opportunity to fuck over SmackDown Live and ultimately cost them the match. You got to keep in mind, Shane McMahon stated that Owens and Zayn have no loyalty to any brand. They ran away from the Monday Night Raw attack. They exited the arena. They wanted nothing to do with it. They don't give a fuck. So that's going to come into play. Those small attention to details, man. You got to be aware of that. They're going to cost SmackDown the match. That's my scenario. That's my prediction. It makes sense from a storyline perspective because they hate Shane McMahon. They also have no brand loyalty so far, like I mentioned. And Owens has a relationship with Triple H, which could play a role here in him helping Team Raw. Owens and Zayn either attack Shane mid-match or aid Raw in another way. Regardless, the match ends with Raw on top thanks to Owens and Zayn. That's my prediction there. The second most popular theory going around is what happened with Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan will play some sort of role. He was kicked off by Team Raw by Triple H this week and was also pedigreed for good measure. Maybe Jordan attacks Triple H out of frustration. If not, another popular theory amongst fans is that Jordan will turn heel and attack his father, Kurt Angle. This would cost Angle and Team Raw the match and his job as general manager. This would set up Angle versus Jordan for a later date. Scenario 3, Braun Strowman dominates and is the sole survivor. There's no question that Braun Strowman has been on the receiving end of a massive push as of late. After losing to Brock Lesnar, no mercy, this could be WWE's way to give Strowman a big win on the big stage. This is probably the least likely of this of the scenarios because of Owens and Zayn and Jordan. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's still a possibility. Angle and Triple H will be the final two left on Team Raw. Something will happen where Angle will inadvertently cause Triple H to be eliminated. This would set up a future match between Angle and Triple H. Angle could either win or lose the match depending on if they want to keep him as Raw General Manager. So those are the scenarios right now. I am going with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn just for the simple fact that they're not even on the show. So you know that they're going to have some type of determining factor in the end result here. And that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Team Raw. How anybody gets eliminated, who gets eliminated first, who are the last men standing, I don't know, and I'm not here to predict that. I'll be here all day. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to help Team Raw win because they have no brand loyalty. That is my prediction on that. SmackDown loses, Raw wins, and that is that. Moving on to the final match of this preview, rather. I was going to say review. The review's tonight for NXT. Champion, Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, with Paul Heyman versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles was the superhero of the land when he beat Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. Apparently Booker T is taking some type of drugs, man, and I would love to know who he's getting these drugs supplied from. Booker T was on a recent episode of Heated Conversations hosted by Booker T. I guess he was on his own podcast. I didn't even know he had a podcast. He isn't a big fan of the AJ Styles-Brock Lesnar match. Well, you may be the only one unless you're Indian. Or somebody without a fucking brain. This is what he said on the match, and I quote, "As far as AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar, I don't like that matchup. I don't like that matchup." He says it twice. You know Brock Lesnar's a beast. We all know AJ Styles. They don't call him phenomenal for nothing. The guy is actually that good. But to step up to Brock Lesnar's level, it's almost like a middleweight going up against a heavyweight that can move like a middleweight. So that's why I don't like the balance of that one right there. Well, did you think the same thing about CM Punk and Brock Lesnar? I see a lot of similarities and a lot of the ways that this match should be booked just based off that match. And CM Punk and Brock Lesnar at that year's SummerSlam had the match of the year. What was it, 2013, I believe? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. 2013? Match of the year that year. Don't give me that shit. Booker also praised the recent title run of Jinder Mahal. Oh my God. I quote, "I think Jinder Mahal had a great run." Well, you're the only one who thinks he had a great run, Booker T. I think Jinder Mahal has brought legitimacy to... I can't read this anymore. I can't read this anymore, man. I think Jinder Mahal has brought legitimacy to the WWE Championship. Really? I think with Jinder as champion, people look at the WWE Championship now as, we got to get the title off this guy. It's almost like the Iron Sheik when he had it back in the day. And Hogan had to get it off of him. Drop the big leg. Bring America back the title. I like this dynamic. It's almost like when Sergeant Slaughter had his heel run. People hated him. I love it. This is professional wrestling. What he's doing. Jinder Mahal has done a great job, and I think he's a great champion. The thing is, Booker, Jinder wasn't bringing legitimacy to the title. He actually buried the legitimacy of the WWE Championship in the ground. People didn't hate Jinder because he was champion. People hated Jinder because he was a fake. People don't forget where he came from, Booker T. Maybe that fact just went right over your head, bro. People don't hate Jinder because he's a great champion, a great heel. People hate him because he sucks. He can't even wrestle. Simple as that. It's go away heat. People hate him for the wrong reasons. Booker T has clearly shown he is a goon. My God. My God. Anyway, Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. This is a dream match. The dynamic of this match, I'm looking forward to it, man. Much more than Mahal and Lesnar. At least Styles is actually a great wrestler and a legitimate champion. The only thing I don't like about this match is the fact that the WWE champion is going to lose. Brock Lesnar's not losing this match. There's no way that he should lose this match. AJ Styles is the much smaller man. AJ Styles has to worry about Jinder Mahal, which I think is going to play a determining factor in this match. Brock Lesnar is being set up for a Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. He's not going to lose here. Now, can I see Brock Lesnar lose this match? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. CM Punk almost brought him to the brink of defeat, but CM Punk lost. Ultimately, that Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam. I could see something like that happening. That Brock Lesnar barely escapes a victory here with AJ Styles. That AJ Styles really is that phenomenal of a wrestler to bring himself to battle Brock Lesnar. But then you got to take the size and the overall bestiality that is Brock Lesnar into play. What does AJ Styles have in his repertoire that can really go up against Brock Lesnar? Nothing but the phenomenal forearm, if you ask me. The speed, yes, but nothing outside the phenomenal forearm is going to be believable offense against Brock Lesnar. You're not going to get that guillotine neckbreaker move that he does on him. Whatever the fucking name of that move is called, Yushigoroshi or whatever the fucking shit's called. You're not going to get the Styles Clash on Brock Lesnar, right? You're not going to get none of that shit on him. You may get the Calf Crusher on him, but the Calf Crusher is going to be fucking powered out because Brock Lesnar's a fucking beast. There's nothing in AJ Styles' arsenal that's going to make me believe that he can legitimately beat Brock Lesnar. I believe that Brock Lesnar CM Punk match was a street fight. There was no rules in that match, if I'm not mistaken. Again, someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I can see AJ beating Brock Lesnar. The reason I say that is because when Brock Lesnar wants to work with somebody, you know when he wants to work with somebody. Brock Lesnar doesn't give a shit. This is a non-title match. He ain't losing his title. If he wants to put over AJ and make AJ look good, Brock Lesnar's going to do it because you know why? He's still the Universal Champion and he's still walking out with a major payday. So if he wants to put over AJ Styles, whom I'm assuming he fucking respects to the fullest, I wouldn't put it past Brock Lesnar putting over AJ Styles. Do I see it happening? No. For the current storylines that we are in right now, do I see it happening? No. I think AJ's going to lose. I think AJ's going to do well against Brock Lesnar. I'm hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, that Brock Lesnar actually wrestles more than he did all year in this match. We deserve it. This is AJ Styles. I don't want to see a 5-minute AJ Styles match where he's decimated by German suplexes. I don't want to see that. AJ Styles is worth so much more. If AJ could bring someone who can't wrestle to a great match, I wouldn't say it's a great match, a good match, like Jinder Mahal, Brock Lesnar can wrestle AJ Styles. I think Jinder Mahal is going to have a determining factor in this match. I think AJ Styles is going to lose this match because of Jinder Mahal, which ultimately sets up the title rematch at Clash of the Champions. Jinder Mahal not booked on the show. He has no other rhyme or reason to interfere in any of the other matches. I don't want to see this pay-per-view decimated by run-ins. When it makes sense, yes. This match and the men's match. That's it. That's it. But I see Jinder Mahal interfering on AJ Styles' behalf to cost him this match. Phenomenal forearm into the F5. 1, 2, 3. It's over. That's what I see happening. That's your Survivor Series preview and predictions. I hope I went over everything, man. I feel like I'm forgetting something. There's just so much here. There's just so much on this fucking show that I am honestly overwhelmed for the first time all year. I am overwhelmed by everything that this show is. Other than that, I really don't have much, man. I have to get to the social media segment. We'll save that for the actual fucking show. We'll save that for the news and rumors portion of tomorrow's show. Okay, we'll do the social media segment tomorrow. So I got news and questions lined up on that show. We got news about James Ellsworth was supposed to challenge Charlotte at WrestleMania because of Vince McMahon. He was supposed to challenge Charlotte for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. He wanted to turn James Ellsworth into a woman. Some wild fucking WrestleMania speculation that was supposed to happen this past year. I don't know where the fuck this news is coming from, but I also got news on various other topics as well. Backstage news on Ric Flair's return. Neville returning to the WWE. Jack Swagger is now with Bellator MMA. Daniel Bryan possibly getting cleared to wrestle for the WWE. Plans for Kenny Omega after Wrestle Kingdom 12. Real reason why Paige wasn't on Raw this week. All that plus so much more on Off the Script this coming Sunday. Thank you guys so very much, man. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking down below. T-shirts, man. This is what you got to look forward to. The benched design right there on Barbershop Window. Then you got the Jinder, Ghostbusters, Get Off My TV design. And we got Wrestle Rumble. As always, WrestleRumble.com. Make sure you guys play Wrestle Rumble this weekend. You guys can win $500 cash. And the questionnaire, I'm not telling you, man. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. It's very fucking difficult. So difficult I might not even take part in it. But I want you guys to at least win $500 cash, man. I want someone who listens to Off the Script to win $500 cash for Survivor Series weekend. WrestleRumble.com. Make sure you guys enter that. They are supporting the social media segment tomorrow on Off the Script. Thank you guys so very much. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for notifications. I will see you guys tonight for NXT TakeOver WarGames. And it's going to be great. I'll be live tweeting. I'll be doing the review live after the show. Make sure you guys are tuned in for that. And tomorrow, Off the Script. And then the main event, Survivor Series 2017. I am JD. Thank you guys so much. Please hit that thumbs up. Show some support for the video. And I'll see you guys tonight for NXT WarGames. I'll see you guys later tonight. Make a great day, and let's enjoy WarGames tonight. I'm looking forward to Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream the most, man. Those guys are going to fucking steal the show. It's going to be a great show. Exciting night for wrestling fans. I'll see you guys tonight for WarGames. I'll talk to you later.